Alright guys, let's try this again. My last video, some friggin' high school kids in the background trying to impress some girls, so they're pretty annoying. So I moved the locations, but anyway, coming at you with a little update for the street triple. Did a little bit more stuff to it since you last saw it. So I put the stock headers back on. I decatted them with a spade bit for a drill, I put on an impact just from Harbor Freight, and a long Harbor Freight screwdriver just pounded the catalytic converter material right out of the inner tube there. Well, the inner tube, that circle where that it's housed, because I put on a HP, whoa, almost lost the camera, holy. I put on an HP course GP07 exhaust, so it's a slip-on. Went a little bit of a different route because the Delcovic that was on here, I had a suspicion it was leaking, because I've heard that they've been known to do that. And my suspicions were right when I pulled the thing apart and actually got a look at the exhaust gaskets that I replaced. You can definitely see that they were leaking on the header side. I think there was a leak in the center of it, and then at the, I don't know, it didn't sound fully sealed, I guess, if that makes sense to anybody. So yeah, I went ahead and did that. Still got the K&N air filter on it and all that stuff. I just went with the OEM decatted headers, wrapped them, same deal as before, all the way back to the pipe, and then I'll start this thing up for you. It's pretty friggin' loud, but it's like a good loud, like MotoGP loud, right? Like got that weird, I don't know how to explain the tone to it, but it sounds pretty decent. It's a little loud when you're riding it, but loud pipes save lives, right? So along with that, when I did that work, I actually stripped the Rapid Bike off. So no more Rapid Bike. I sent the ECU to DNK TuneWorks. New Misguided Gloves, shout out Misguided Motorsports, Brian 636, money. So I actually sent the ECU to DNK TuneWorks, which I had that in the back of my mind when I was originally looking at a Rapid Bike. Both kind of had their pros and cons to me anyway. But I went with the Rapid Bike, and it wouldn't auto-tune. I don't know if I installed it wrong, but off of their instructions, everything got a signal electronics-wise. So on my laptop, it was saying everything was connected. The bike starts, which that's the number one thing they say. If it starts, you're good. Set the auto adaptivity, and it just, I don't know, it wouldn't auto-tune. I probably rode it 300-400 miles. And was checking it every once, so often to see, and the tables never changed. So I took the ECU out and sent it to DNK TuneWorks in Maryland. I had it back in pretty much over a long weekend, right? I sent it out on Friday, got it back today, which is a Tuesday. Memorial Day was Monday, so I assume that's when they worked on it. And the tune that they put on this is absolutely on point. This thing has never felt better than it does right now. It's so much snappier. I tried road mode, sport mode. It's so much snappier in sport mode. It's almost kind of scary in sport mode, if you're not really used to it kind of kicking back on you. I still got a traction control on, so I haven't been trying any wheelies or anything like that. But yeah, I've ridden it pretty much all day in sport mode. a few miles in road just to see, because I know they adjust like the throttle mapping and all that stuff. They actually do a lot with their tunes, and I'm very impressed at what came of it with this. I beyond a doubt would highly recommend them. I did have a small little issue. I'm going to be super transparent with everybody on this. I did have a small little issue when I plugged the ECU back in, got the battery going. There was a check engine light. It was throwing 4 codes. 2 were the gas level sensor, which didn't make any sense because I filled it up and it still threw that code. And then, which was really weird, the injector 3, I can't remember. I should have took friggin' pictures of it, but I have a Triumph dealer tool, so I reset all the codes in my Triumph dealer tool, and I've been riding for like 20 more miles. I've rode it probably 50 miles so far total, 30 before I did the check engine light, because I just wanted to ride it to see if it would change and swap, you know, fix itself basically. But it didn't after 30 miles, so I went home, threw it on the laptop, dealer tool, took care of it, and I've been riding it for about 20 more miles, and it hasn't come back on yet. But this thing, it feels so much better. Highly recommend DNK TuneWorks if you're gonna send them a ECU. It's seamless process. I did the mail-in option. I had all the stuff to do the one where they send you the map through an email and you load it on yourself with the little Bluetooth reader thingy, but I just see, yeah, screw that. So I went with the white glove service basically, but it's 1,000 times better. There's no more like throttle snatch, like that whiskey throttle feeling. When the Rapid bike was on it, it was doing some really weird thing at like right around 2200 RPMs, where I had the auto adaptivity set to start doing its thing. It was like real snatchy, like it wasn't getting enough fuel. So it would like bounce and bounce like whiskey throttle. If you guys have ever ridden a dirt bike before, same kind of feeling. That's completely gone. First gear, going through a red light, wicked low RPMs, awesome. The throttle response up high, it's woken this thing up like you wouldn't imagine. But that's why I'm doing this little video, just to tell you where I'm at, and hopefully I'm helping somebody out who's in the same boat as me, you know. When did I install that Rapid bike? Probably a year and a half ago, and it was just, I don't know. I wish there was more information on the Rapid bike, like user interface, like stuff, what to do with it when this kind of thing happens to you, and whatever. You have to rely on email to Rapid Bike USA in Florida, which I did a bunch of times, and they hit me right back and were trying to help me diagnose and figure out the problems with it, but it still just never ever auto-tuned. It didn't, one value never changed. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. There's the auto adaptivity table. It was grayed out 0 the whole time. I ended up running the full SC Project map with my Rapid bike because why not? It's better than the stock one. It had a full exhaust on it anyway with a decat, so that's what I ran. But yeah, awesome. DNK TuneWorks, awesome. Other updates, yeah. So these brakes, last thing I did, I talked about putting these brakes on. Stellar. This Magura HC1 is a 1-finger stop. It's so buttery smooth. The first time I rode it and like bed the calipers in, I almost did a front flip on this thing because I did not expect for it to stop as fast as it did from how fast I was going. But so far, so good. This tune is awesome. You just send them what you have done to your bike, and they do you know, fuel mapping for that, because allegedly they have dyno maps and all this research that they've done with British Customs in England, I guess. So that's how they got all the info to make these maps on a bench tune for you. I guess you can also go there and they can dyno it and do all that stuff like a normal shop would, but I just didn't have the time. It was only a 4-hour drive from there, from where I am, so it wasn't, you know, that's not too bad, but I just didn't have, you know, the time off for work and whatever to go have that done. But yeah, they do a lot of other stuff as well. They de-restrict, obviously, your throttle in every riding mode. They actually raise the red line RPM and take off the speed limiters as well, and that's very apparent. Let me just point that out specifically. Very, with a capital, airy. Very apparent that this thing has been tuned a little bit. Little bit. Yeah, so that's where it's at now, guys. I don't think I'm gonna do a little bit more. I got carbon fiber little shark fin coming, and then since the stock headers went on, I got the stock exhaust shield in carbon as well. But yeah, that's where she's at, and that's where she's gonna be for a little while. It's a whole different machine. Big ups to them for sure helping me out, because I was kind of stuck, like scared. What am I gonna do? This thing's not running like it should be. You know, it's a little bit too technologically advanced with all these restrictions and all this stuff they put on everything nowadays to try to meet Euro 5 standards and the EPA and blah, 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 all those other acronyms. But yeah, if you're looking for a tune for this and you're in the States, hit up DNK, or I guess British Customs if you're over the pond. So yeah, well, maybe I'll come at you with a moto vlog or two. I don't know yet. I'll see what I got going on, but hope you guys have a, you know, good rest of your month of June, July, August, September, so on if I don't talk to you. Peace.